Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. I'm going to talk about Deadspin, you know, the sports site that didn't stick to sports. The sports site that defamed a child, called a child racist, and got itself sued. Well, they tried to get the lawsuit thrown out, and it ain't working for them. It ain't working for him at all. We're gonna talk about this. It's coming from the New York Post. Deadspin loses bid to toss defamation suit over article accusing young Kansas City Chiefs fan of racism. Yeah, this was a pretty terrible thing that happened, and it also shows sort of the hastening demise of mainstream media, of a lot of these digital media outlets. And we're gonna look at some other headlines here, including Hearst making a deal with OpenAI to basically sell its content, because I think that's the end game for a lot of these publishers. I think they're noping out. They're selling off, they're shutting down, or they're selling their content to AI, right? Because AI can write articles, I guess. That's kind of the future of digital journalism, is AI. So let's talk about all this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, check out Clownfish Minus at clownfishminus.com. Become a member of the Reef. You can help support the channel. You get exclusive content, including podcasts that we're not going to post over here. In fact, I've got a couple more coming today or tomorrow. And you get a merchandise discount. We've got all kinds of merchandise here. You guys can check it out. Check it out at clownfishminus.com. So let's walk it back to, I believe it was earlier this year or last year. There was a lawsuit, and you guys probably remember this. This kid, it was a very famous or infamous image. It was Deadspin, which is a website owned by GeoMedia. It was part of the Gizmodo group, the same group that owned Kotaku and some of these other beautiful websites that we love to make fun of. But they said this kid was being racist because he had black and red face paint on. He went to the game. They dragged him. They had a chance to make a correction or apologize, and they refused to do it. And they got sued. And then not long after the lawsuit was filed, the owners, GeoMedia, sold the website. And they got rid of everybody that worked there. I believe it was everybody. They got rid of pretty much everybody there. And it still looks like this lawsuit is going to move forward. Now, I'm not sure which entity, whether it's GeoMedia or the new owners of the website, which ones are going to have to combat this lawsuit. But yeah, they tried to get it dismissed, and it's not working. They're not getting it dismissed. Like, look, you can actually get sued for lying about people, maliciously lying about people on the internet. We're not talking a joke. We're not talking parody. We're talking about provably false things being said about people that could ruin their lives. And in this case, this kid's life was ruined. His parents' lives were ruined. I guess his dad was getting heckled at work, and the kid was getting heckled at school. And, a bunch of people thought this kid was a racist because this stupid far left digital media outlet decided to use this kid as a hockey puck in a culture war thing. And it turned out that the kid, they're like, oh, it's cultural appropriation. He's being a racist. Turns out this kid actually is of Native ancestry. I think he actually belongs to a tribe. And it was a huge mess. And this was another blow. Again, same company or same group of sites that got, they talk about, sites getting gawkered. That would be Hulk Hogan suing Gawker, which was kind of the founder of all these garbage tier websites. And he pretty much sued them into oblivion because of the sex tape scandal, right? And they just keep pushing it. And I'm like, how long until Kotaku gets sued? Because Kotaku keeps lying about game devs and everybody's racist, everybody's misogynist, whatever. Again, you can say, hey, my opinion is this is kind of racist-y. It's not a good look. They didn't mark this as opinion, I guess. Maybe I'll go out to the Fox News version. It seems to have a better take on it than the Post. Young Chiefs fans' defamation lawsuit against Deadspin is moving forward. They crossed the fine line. Deadspin accused a 9-year-old of sporting blackface at a game. A Delaware judge ruled Monday that the Armenta family's lawsuit against Deadspin for accusing their son of wearing blackface at a Chiefs game last year can proceed. In 2023, Deadspin writer Karen Phillips wrote an article using an image of a 9-year-old Holden Armenta sporting black and red Kansas City Chiefs face paint at a game showing only the black half of his face. The writer accused Holden of finding a way to hate black people and Native Americans at the same time. Again, this kid is, as I recall, actually of Native ancestry himself, and accused his parents of teaching him hatred. Holden's parents, Raul Jr. and Shannon, later filed a lawsuit in February accusing the sports blog of maliciously attacking Holden by selectively posting only one half of his face and accusing them of racism. On Monday, Superior Court Judge Sean Lugg denied Deadspin's motion to dismiss the lawsuit, agreeing that the blog posted provable false assertions as facts rather than opinion. Deadspin published an image of a child displaying his passionate fandom as a backdrop for its critique of the NFL's diversity efforts, and in its description of the child, crossed the fine line protecting its speech from defamation claims. Having reviewed the complaint, the court concludes that Deadspin's statements accusing Holden of wearing blackface and native headdress to hate black people and Native Americans at the same time, and that he was taught this hatred by his parents, are provable false assertions of fact and are therefore actionable. Okay, so this is a huge thing. Again, these digital journos, they brush right up against it, but then they try to use, oh, it was my opinion, oh, whatever. And there are multiple lawsuits going on right now with people in the media. And you have to be like, again, you can give an opinion on someone, you can say mean things about someone. But if you make claims that they did a thing that they did not do, and if it goes viral and their real lives are impacted, you can and will get sued. I think people were afraid to sue for a very long time because, one, you don't want to be the bad guys, but two, it seemed like the courts were kind of favoring the journalists. It's like, well, they get protected because they're journalists. And three, it's expensive. It doesn't matter if you're in the right. Lawsuits are expensive. We had a legal entanglement with a former business partner of ours, and we were in the right. And we won. We didn't gain monetary awards for it, but we did win. And we were out thousands and thousands of dollars just to defend ourselves. And, so yeah, not everybody has deep enough pockets to sue these sites. But I mean, the precedent's being set that, you talk shit, you get hit. And again, it's not just somebody saying mean things or somebody's critical of my movie or somebody's I'm saying this is like you accused a child of being racist, and you accused his parents of turning him into a racist. And they had multiple chances to retract, to correct, and they refused to do it. They're like, no, this is our opinion, you bigots, and you whatever. And what happened? Oh, they got sued. And then what happened? Oh, the site owner sold them off. Now, this is Deadspin. This is the site that the Geo Media boss, was it Jim Spamfeller? I think his name's Spamfeller. He told them to stick to sports because he knew they were publishing some pretty dicey shit. And in a different time, he'd probably let it slide because they were probably bringing in a couple $100,000 a month in ad revenue. And that is definitely not the case now. We're gonna talk about this because these journos are going to get replaced with AI. And again, this is kind of like the anime voice actor situation where they have nobody to blame but themselves because they hastened their own end, basically by acting like asshats. And now the company's got to do what the company's got to do. Like if you guys are going to go out there and say shit like this and talk shit about people and get us sued, then we're going to replace you with robots. That's basically it, because robots aren't going to get us sued. Lugg, this is the judge. He also refused to dismiss the case based on the assertion that the case should have been filed in California rather than Delaware, where Deadspin's parent company resides. They don't actually reside there. They just file their taxes there. Geo Media later sold Deadspin to Lineup Publishing 1 month after the lawsuit was filed. A representative from Geo Media declined to comment to Fox News. Deadspin did not retract the original article. However, an editor's note was added to address the controversy. They needed to retract it. They needed to. We regret any suggestion that we were attacking the fan or his family. To that end, our story was updated on December 7th. It was like several days after it was published, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've covered this. But it was several days after, and they had multiple opportunities to do it. They only did it because they were getting threatened. They said they were going to remove, it was updated on December 7th to remove any photos, tweets, links, or otherwise identifying information about the fan. We've also revised the headline to better reflect the substance of the story. Yeah. The headline was also changed from "The NFL needs to speak out against the Kansas City Chiefs fan and blackface native headdress" to "The NFL must ban native headdress and culturally insensitive face paint in the stands." So they're basically saying the NFL needs to go after this kid, this child, the 9-year-old kid. Phillips initially doubled down on his accusations in a since deleted X post. He said, "For the idiots in my mentions who are treating this as some harmless act because the other side of his face was painted red, I can make the argument that makes it even more worse. Y'all," every time they say y'all, and they're usually from up north, "y'all the ones who hate Mexicans but wear sombreros on Cinco de Mayo." I hope he never works again in journalism again, because we have let lunatics run these digital media outlets. We've let people that shouldn't even have their own blogs, we've let them on platforms that reach millions of people. And this is what they do. They attack children. They get their parent companies sued. So it's going to change pretty damn soon. I'm just going to throw this in there because I don't think it's really worth its own video. But OpenAI and Hearst have a content partnership. Their Hearst iconic brands bring curated lifestyle and local news content to OpenAI's products, right? Hearst today announced a new content partnership with OpenAI, which will integrate Hearst's extensive newspaper and domestic magazine content into OpenAI's products, enhancing the utility and reach of both companies' offerings. No, it's called "We are selling our content to OpenAI because we do not see a future in magazines or digital media." And these kinds of lawsuits just hasten the demise of magazines and newspapers and digital media. And I think we're going to see a lot more of these because, again, a lot of these journals have run unchecked for years. And it's so weird because on the other side of it, you've got people that are like, "Oh, we need to shut down the anti-Disney Star Wars channels." Well, saying you don't like Star Wars is a lot different than saying, "Hey, a 9-year-old kid is literally racist and his parents taught him to be a racist because he's wearing face paint to a football game." And then putting that out there and it hits the Google news feed, and you know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to see a lot more lawsuits. I would have loved personally for Kotaku to have gotten sued by Troy Levitt, who we interviewed on the D-Res podcast. Troy was the one of the leads on Hogwarts Legacy, and they tried to smear him as being a racist and a Gamergator and all this other stuff. And he basically left Avalanche in the middle of production on Hogwarts Legacy because of this. I mean, he was going to leave anyway, as I understand it, but this definitely hastened his decision to leave. And we've seen other developers smeared as being racists or bigots or homophobes or whatever just because they tend to be more conservative. And there are quite a few, at least of the OG game devs. A lot of them were very conservative and or at least somewhat conservative, right? And there's been a pushback against that. But like these blogs have gone unchecked for years. Everybody was too afraid of them. And I think now it's like, well, hey, it's open season, right? Like if this goes through, and these parents win money, and I seem to think they will, because they're, again, the author doubled down. They had several opportunities to change, delete something with the article, and they refused to do it, which led to it being so bad that the Geo Media had to sell the company off. I think they'll probably win. And if they win, that's going to send a huge flare up in the sky that, like, yes, you can push back against these garbage tier media sites if they call you racists and bigots and Nazis and homophobes and blah, 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 blah. And it's definitely positively not true. And you can prove that it's not true. It's going to be open season. So I think what's going to happen is a lot of, back to the OpenAI thing, I think a lot of these publishers are just going to take the opportunity now to cash out. They're going to be like, there is no future. Our own writers are making sure there's no future for us. So we're just going to cash out. We're going to cash out now. Actually, the way to do it is be like, hey guys, Mr. Freelance journalist, do you have your own insurance? Your own legal insurance? Because if you write something stupid and you get us sued, you're going to have to deal with it. It's going to be on you to deal with it. That's how you deal. That's how you take care of it. You're a contractor, right? You have your own insurance. Yeah, you have to deal with it. You can say whatever you want to say, but if you get sued, it's on you, man. It's on you. And I want in writing that it's on you. I don't think Karen Phillips would have been as bold if Karen had to deal with fallout himself and not the multi-million-dollar corporation. Just saying. So there we go, guys. Gonna wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later. Join the reef. Go to clownfish-.com. That's clownfish-.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt, on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support.